This is the ulna. This is the radius. And the first anastomosis in the hand between the ulna and the radius when they get blood to the hand is through the superficial palmar arch, which is made up of this part number here. It's called superficial division of ulnar artery, and this part right here, as we said, superficial palmar branch of radial artery. Okay. Now, now this is the superficial, and we're studying it right now. Now we know the formation, okay? What did we say about the branches? There's one branch, okay. Let me just draw the fingers. One, two, three, four. Okay? And then there's a thumb. Five. Now what does it tell us? What does it tell us? It tells us that there's a branch called number one, palmar digital artery that goes to the side of the pinky. Okay? Okay. And then it tells us there is three common palmar digital arteries between second, third, and fourth. Okay? So this is the arch. This is the arch. And the fingers are here. Okay? One, two, three, four. First artery comes here and goes to the side of the medial side of the little finger. Okay? And then it says three common palmar digital arteries. Okay? One goes like that, one goes like that, and one goes like that. And this is the thumb, by the way. Okay? So we have the first branch here called palmar digital artery, number one, right here. The three common palmar digital arteries, which is one, two, and three. Okay? Now, in this note, it tells us, I'm going to draw the deep now, the deep arch, which we'll study in a bit. There's here called palmar metacarpal arteries. Coming out of here, they join the common. Coming out of here, they join the common. Come out of here, and they join the common. Okay? These are palmar metacarpal arteries. These are common palmar digital arteries. This one, palmar digital artery. And then they say that to supply the fingers on all the sides, these common palmar, common, so common, if it's common, then you know that there's something coming that is not common, that is splitting. Just like we studied the common carotid artery splits into external and internal, right? Common. So you will know if there's common that it will split. So it will split to one finger right here and goes to the other finger right here. One finger right here and goes to the other finger right here. One finger right here and goes to the other finger right here. Okay? And this is how blood is supplied to the fingers. Now, what are those here? Here, we have them. Divides into two digital arteries, which run along the adjacent sides of two fingers. This is the simplistic way of seeing the superficial palmar arch. Okay? Any questions about the superficial palmar arch? Any questions?
Can you just say, it divides into two digital arteries which run
Here.
adjacent between metacarpal.
No, 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 no. Here, bro.
Huh?
Here. Do you see it where I underlined?
Okay. Yes. 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 Yes.
Yes. So again, superficial palmar arch. Okay. Superficial palmar arch. It's superficial and it's on the palm. Okay. And it's an artery. They are not veins. So they give supply to the fingers. Okay. Now, what we want to know about it, very important things. It lies deep to palmar aponeurosis. Now, formation, how does it form? It's an arch, mainly by the arch of the superficial division of the ulnar artery, which is the first part of it. Okay? The second part of it, which is here, it is formed by superficial palmar branch of radial artery. The branches that we said, palmar digital artery, which is here, this one. Okay? The three common palmar digital arteries, which are 1, 2, and 3. Put dots near them. And 3. These are the common. Now, where do they run? In the second, third, fourth intercarpal spaces. Okay? Now, each artery, each artery of those common palmar digital is joined by palmar metacarpal artery coming from the palmar arch. This is the palmar metacarpal arteries coming from the deep, which we will study in a bit. And this one is our superficial. Okay? And then each one, now we come back to those. Now we connected this to this. خلاص. Metacarpal from the deep to the superficial. Now, this one, the commons, they split into two, called the digital, to supply fingers. Deal? That's a superficial. Okay? And let me go back. Look. Give me a second. Here. Superficial. Okay? Coming from two parts. From the ulna, we have the superficial division. And from the radial artery, we have the superficial palmar branch of radial artery, making the arch. From the arch, we have the branch that goes here, called the palmar digital artery. And then we have the commons. We selected all of them, common palmar digital arteries. And into the common palmar digital arteries from the deep comes the metacarpal, palmar metacarpal arteries, supplying it. And then we go further, they split into two. The commons split into two. Palmar digital arteries, supplying fingers. This is superficial. Any question? I'm gonna go to the deep now. Okay, no questions? طيب. Let's go to the deep one now. Deep one. Now that's the deep. Okay. And for your information, we just did it. This is the superficial. Okay. Superficial means it is closer to the skin. Deep, it's closer to the bones. Okay. Now, when we go talk about the deep, I have to delete those, sorry. Right there, clear our drawings. When we go talk about the deep palmar arch, okay? Watch. I'm gonna select all of its tributaries so that you know what's the endings and what's the thing of it, okay? Isolate. So now, what did I select? Watch, what did I select? I selected ulnar artery, I selected radial artery, and I selected our thing that we're gonna study now, deep palmar arch, okay? Why did I select part of the superficial? Here, look, this is part of the superficial palmar arch, okay? Why did I select it? It's because the deep in some way connects to the superficial division of the ulnar, okay? That's why I selected it. So now, let's study it. It is an arterial arch forming by the union of the terminal part of radial artery in the palm. Here, that's the radial artery, okay? And this is the terminal part of radial artery in the palm. And and with the deep division of the ulnar artery. Okay? Just to tell you that it's another anastomosis between radial and ulnar. So we learn now that the superficial and the deep is how the arteries, radial and ulnar, are connected at the end in the hand. Okay? Okay? But in this case, the radial artery forms the main part of the deep palmar arch. What formed the main part of the superficial? The ulna. What made the main part of the deep? The radial. Okay? So now, ulnar artery comes, and forms the main part of superficial. The radial artery comes here. It continues, and then it forms the main part of the deep. And then it connects to the radial. Okay? So just imagine that the ulna is the superficial and the radial is the deep deal, and they just connect to each other. Now, where does it lie? It lies in front of the metacarpal bones. Okay? Near the base. Look, I'm going to here. You see it? It comes around the thumb and then goes this way. That's the deep. That's what we're going to study. Okay? This one. See? Multiple select. That's what we are selecting right now. The radial artery comes around the thumb and gives us the deep, and they are found in front of the metacarpal bones, and then it ends with the ulna. So I isolate this. This is how it's structured. Okay. Radial artery. Okay, comes behind the thumb. I didn't select the thumb. Here. There. You see it. Okay. And behind the thumb and enters in front of metacarpal bones distal to their bases, near the bases. Okay. So now, um, what do we need? Yes, branches. We have three palmar metacarpal arteries, three palmar metacarpal arteries, the one we already studied, which connects. Remember? Here, palmar metacarpal arteries. Give me a second. Here. And these palmar metacarpal arteries are the ones that connect to the common of the superficial. Common of the superficial. And I'm going to check them now that we already studied. Common of the superficial. So the first branches that we're going to study for the deep are those here. Palmar metacarpal arteries, number one. And there's three of them. Three palmar metacarpal arteries. Number two, perforating arteries of the palm. Perforating arteries of the palm. Perforating arteries of the palm. And I really don't know how to get them out here, but let's see. No. Perforating arteries of the palm. This palmar arch. Maybe. Okay. No idea. Okay, perforating arteries of the palm. And then there's number three, recurrent branches. Recurrent means going back, always. Going back, okay? Recurrent branches. But let's see if I can find it maybe here somewhere. These from there. Yeah, these are the dorsals. But when we speak about the arches, we just have to focus on the palmar edge of it, okay? Ah, here. There we go. There we go. These are the perforating arteries of the palm. Perforating arteries of the palm. This is the second branch. The third branch is the recurrent. Let me see if I can find anything here. Palm. It's the same. Okay, I can't. Okay, so recurrent branches. Okay, so this is a deep palmar arch. The main part of it is the radial artery. The radial artery ends as the deep palmar arch. The deep palmar arch anastomosis with radial artery on the superficial division of the superficial palmar arch. Okay. Um, where is it located? Um, it's located near the basis of the metacarpal bones. Okay. Located near the basis of the metacarpal bones. Okay. And branches, three palmar metacarpal arches that three palmar metacarpal arteries that join the common palmar arteries of the superficial, perforating arteries of the palm, and recurrent branches. That's it.
Just have a question.
Yep.
We said they lie near the basis of the metacarpals and they end as what?
Yes. Um,
And as radial artery.
no, no,
ولا
no,
قلنا؟
no, no. So radial artery, right?
Mm.
It becomes the deep, and it
Mm.
lies the deep palmar artery or deep palmar arterial arch. It lies in front of the bases of the metacarpal bones in the palmar side, and it anastomoses with the ulnar, where at the superficial palmar arch or the superficial division of the ulnar artery. Okay, so
Okay.
diagram ulna radius. Okay, then you have the arch that goes like this, right? So wait, let me repeat that again. So you have ulna and you have radial, so ulnar artery, radial artery. Then you have a radial branch, okay, called the here, as I said before. Yes, superficial palmar branch of radial artery. That's the one I drew here. That's the radial artery. Okay, that's the ulnar artery. From the radial artery gives out superficial palmar branch of radial. Okay, then from here, from the ulna, superficial division, superficial division of ulnar artery. Okay, look, superficial division of ulnar artery, superficial palmar branch of radial artery. Okay, so far so good. This here, this here is the superficial palmar arch.
الله أكبر.
Superficial palmar arch is made up of the superficial palmar branch of radial and the superficial division of ulnar artery. Okay, now the radial artery, this is just a branch. Okay, this is just a branch, but the radial artery actually continues behind the thumb, and now it gives off the deep and anastomosis here. So the actual course of radial artery is this way into the deep palmar arch and joins the superficial palmar arch. What's this? It's the branch that we said, superficial palmar branch of radial artery. So now this one is the superficial arch, and this one is the deep arch. Okay? So, to talk about the superficial, which is this one, the main part of it is ulna. So, ulnar artery. Ulnar artery comes and forms the main part of the superficial arch, palmar arch. Why? Because it ends here. Now, this branch that we draw as a superficial palmar branch of radial artery comes from the radial artery. It's a branch and it continues the superficial palmar arch. Now, to talk about the deep palmar arch, which is the coming from mainly the radial artery. Radial artery comes like this, goes behind the thumb, then becomes the deep palmar arch. And then the deep palmar arch joins this spot where superficial division of ulnar artery in the superficial arterial arch. That's it. Okay. Now, these are connected like we said. So ask me questions now. I know it's confusing, but ask me. What questions do you have? Okay. No questions. طيب. Let's stop here for this one.